welcome to Pretty Little Liars chat. I'm so happy to see all of you here today. A lot of you are already talking to me in the comments, and that makes me so happy. So let me just start by saying that I think last night's episode was awesome. Like, there are so many things that I want to talk about, and I hope that we have time to discuss all of them in the 30 minutes that we have here. But I think the biggest thing that I want to share with you is that I have a new big A theory, and that relates to Varjak. And I know a lot of you are already sharing your big A theories with me. I want to give a shout out to several people. Daniela and Shelly and Emily are joining us, and Connie and Eva and Jennifer and Nancy and Nad. And guys, if you're on my YouTube channel, if you have not checked out Insticator, eventually it would be cool if we could all talk over there, but I cannot post a link in the YouTube chat to have you move over there. It won't let me. So you can check my Twitter, or I'll post it on the video so you can join next time. And hello to Darty as well. So I think this whole Varjak clue that we got from Cyrus is just huge. If you weren't sure what the Varjak reference is, I Googled it, and it's a reference from the movie Breakfast at Tiffany's. It's an Audrey Hepburn old school movie, and you know that PLL has so many references to old school movies. Well, if you also remember, and I think last season, Ezra had compared Allie to Holly Golightly, who is Audrey's character in Breakfast at Tiffany's. I hope you are following me here. So I'm starting to think that Varjak is possibly Ezra, who is possibly Big A. Now, I know Ezra's kind of been out of the spotlight for a while to being a Big A suspect, but for me, he has always been my #1 hope for the mastermind behind all of this. But we have to determine what his motivation is, and I think we don't know all of the pieces to the Ezra puzzle. So what do you guys think about that? And if you don't think that Ezra is Big A, or if you don't think that Ezra is Varjak, then let's talk about who you think they are. Are they the same person, or are they different? But I definitely think that Varjak is a huge clue, maybe one of the bigger clues we've been given out of all the seasons of PLL. I think that it is super, super important. So let me know what you guys think about that, because I think that is definitely important. All right, so can you guys see me? Because I don't see anyone talking, so I want to make sure that you do see me. Say hey if you're seeing this right now, and let me know that you're seeing the video, because I want to hear from you about who you think Varjak is and who you think Big A is, because we are winding down. We're getting closer to the Big A reveal, but I also want to know your thoughts about that reveal. Do you think that we're actually going to find out who Big A is or not? Because a lot of the things that I've read online, people speculating, is that we will just get like a clue about it, and we're not actually going to find out who Big A is. Hey, Daniela saying, you know, yeah, this is his book. When I'm talking about Ezra referencing the Holly Golightly and Allie as Holly Golightly, this is when we thought that Ezra was A, and this was something that he had written in his book, most definitely. Daniela says that he's psycho. So you guys cannot see me, Emily? Oh, yes, you can, hopefully. Hopefully you can see and hear me. Okay, awesome. Yeah, you know, I've always just thought, if you go back to that very first episode, season 1, episode 1, the encounter with him and Arya, like in the bathroom of that bar, it was weird. I mean, he totally targeted her. And I think she was kind of like his substitute for Allie. And I think maybe he's still like obsessed with Allie. The very last scene of last night's episode, A putting $20 bills in the Bible, it made me think about Ezra's money in his drawer. It also made me think about Mike withdrawing that money. So I'm not sure where that money came from, but I think that's important. I also think that that is a huge clue. The money in the Bibles. Those Bibles were going to be delivered to the women's prison where Allie is, and vengeance is mine is what that verse was saying. So someone wants revenge. Okay, so I've got some comments here that I want to address. Connie's saying that she thinks we will find out. Maybe we will find out who Big A is, but the girls won't. Yeah, I could see that happening. That would make me happy. Honestly, if it's a big, you know, kind of like they've strung us along again. And I mean, come on, look at these promos. They're all saying like Big A reveal, like the last 2 weeks. So if we don't find out, if the viewers don't find out, if it's just kind of another like thing where they're playing with this, but we don't really find out, it's going to be upsetting to me. Like, how are you guys going to feel if we don't actually find out who Big A is? Because I'm not going to be happy. Jennifer thinks we're also just going to get a clue, which I'm very concerned about, because you know how many times the show has like played with our emotions. They told us they're going to tell us who A is like so many times, and we don't really find out. So that kind of drives me crazy. It's not like I'm going to quit watching the show, but I think it's kind of wrong to do to true fans, which we all are. Eva says that A should give her $20 because she's broke. Like, I would like to take all of that money that he or she can pass out so freely because, hey, that's awesome. If they have money to throw away, throw it to us. I totally agree. Nat is saying she's still thinking that it's Ren or Toby. And Ren is my safe guess for Big A, because it annoys me, and I've probably told you guys this before, if Ren ends up being Big A, because he's hardly ever on the show. I know he played a big role a while back, but we had a chance to see him last night when Spencer Goes to London, and he wasn't there again. What is up with that? I know the actor who plays him is probably insanely busy doing other things, but it's annoying to me if your main villain is going to be someone who we rarely see. Oh, okay. So $20 bill, yes, is Andrew Jackson. Wow. So that's a good point. Andrew is on the $20 bill, and we have an Andrew in the show who has been so creepy. I thought he was really creepy last night, but I also thought it was almost to the point of getting to the Mike creepy level where they're trying to make us think we're creepy. But did anyone catch that exchange he had with Aria when he first asked her on the date? And he was talking about whatever movie they were going to see, about someone who knew everything. It was basically describing an A character, but it was someone in the movie. And I think that was really weird, but I don't know if they're throwing weird stuff out there to make us think Andrew is shady or what. Eva still thinks that Ren is Big A, and you can Google that theory, and there are a lot of very convincing reasons why. But I think we have to really focus on, when it comes to Big A, this is someone who has been like done wrong, basically. Like, they want revenge. That's pretty obvious. They have a chip on their shoulder, and they're out to get like someone or all of the people in Rosewood because they've been bullied or something like that. So the thing is, it doesn't have to be a character who's obviously broken. Like, Mona was an obviously broken character who had a lot of issues. It was obvious. It may be someone who is really outgoing and we think has everything going for them, but inside they have all these, like these internal issues that they're dealing with. Jackie is saying, do I think Ezra is A? Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of thinking that because of the I thought that for so long, and then I watch the show and they make me think it's not him. But, I just think his whole deal is creepy. His whole relationship with Aria is creepy. And, Jackie, like his ex-girlfriend was saying to Aria recently, like, you don't really know him. I don't know. I used to love them together, but even though I loved him, I always suspected him. Danielle is wanting to know if I've seen the new promo with Emily and Ezra. He's totally acting weird with the whole barjack thing. Was that the one that aired right after the episode? Because I don't remember seeing that. I need to probably Google that. I saw one right after the episode last night, but I definitely need to Google that. Nat is saying that Bethany is Ren's sister because Young is a British last name. Possibly. I mean, Young is also an American last name too, but that would definitely give Ren some ammunition to get vengeance on people. So I can totally see that. Sassy is thinking that maybe Leslie is really Bethany and she is A. Oh, I really like that because I've not heard that before. I've heard a lot of people say that Leslie is Mona, which is kind of a stretch in my opinion, but Leslie being Bethany, I love that. I totally love that. And maybe Mona knew that Leslie was Bethany. Oh my gosh. I don't think that she's A because she hasn't been in the show. I mean, for hardly any time. She's been mentioned recently, but I don't think that she's A. But yeah, Connie's thinking something's up with Leslie. Yeah, I'd like to see more of her though. I mean, what did we see her in one episode? Where did she go? And then a lot of you think that Jason, and Megan had some great theories before the show started about Jason being A. And I could totally see that. I love like watching shows where you try to figure out what's going on and who's the bad guy. But this one really makes it difficult, I think, on purpose because like every week they try to throw like new curveballs at us and new possibilities about who could be A. And it's just crazy. It's like maddening because there's so many people who could be. But I think a lot of that's to distract us. All right, so Aria, Jackie thinks Aria could possibly still be A, which I would love. Like I've told you guys, I would love for one of the girls to be A. That would just make my life. And Daniela, I'm going to check out that preview where Emily asked Ezra if he knows anything from the book and if he knows who Varjak could be. And it killed me last night because Hannah asked Allie, like, who is Varjak? And then, like, we didn't have time for her to answer, or she's either not going to answer or going to pretend like she doesn't know. And Eva, I guess you also said that Jason could be A. Is that what you're telling me? So, yes, I could see that. Connie's saying that people have said Leslie was seen in the background of the pilot and other previous episodes. Really? Is it the same actress? Because I could totally buy that. I don't remember it at all. And Leslie was in Radley when Aria was in the art scene, according to Nad. That's awesome. Hey, David, what's up? Thanks for joining us. Okay. Yeah, I do. Like, I've thought since we've met Leslie that she was important, and I didn't know if we could trust her. And the other thing that I thought of was, we know that Mona had a friend named Leslie, and Mona was like talking to her on the phone before she died, if she's dead. But how do we know that someone is not pretending to be Leslie? Have you guys ever thought about that? Oh, and the other thing that wasn't talked about or hasn't been talked about in forever is who is in the barrel. Will we find out this season or what? Some people have sent me some information that they think that no one is in the barrel, that it's going to end up being like a big trick or like an animal or something like that. Possible spoiler is what some people are sending me, which is going to make me not too happy. So let's get back to some of the topics from last night's episode. What do you guys think that Mrs. H found out to make her so upset about Spencer possibly returning home? And she's like, Spencer cannot fly home. This was in Allie's file that she was looking at. So what do you guys think? Because it must be something pretty big. And I'm hoping that if she stays in London, that Melissa and Ren will actually be on the show again. That would be awesome. Megan says she bet Cece met Bethany when her and Allie switched places to freak out Mrs. D. Maybe Cece told Bethany that she was Allie and gave her that yellow top. Yeah. That could be true. And Eva, I'm sorry, Eva said that Ren was possibly Bethany's brother. Yeah, I mean, I think that it's going to have to be, there's going to be like some kind of big reveal to explain to us why A does what they do. It's just more than like some like high school pranks and stuff. Obviously, there's like some deep-seated anger. So it's probably someone has a family connection that's all messed up. We still don't know if there's going to be a twin in this, in the TV series, since there was in the books, you know. Okay, so now we know why A was in Mike's room. Very good. Yes, Nad, because in the last episode, A was playing around with his weights. We know that he really, really wanted to hurt Mike and basically crush his skull if he had been the one lifting the weights, which is amazing that Aria intercepted that. Do you know what was on that dartboard that Aria was trying to get down? I've watched it a couple times and I cannot tell exactly what she was going after, but thank goodness she did, because I'm sorry that she got hurt, but it could have been a lot worse with her brother. Jackie is saying that she thinks Mrs. H may have found out something that could link Spencer to the case. Well, it looks like Hannah is going to get arrested next week, which is not cool, but surely Spencer is not in trouble again because, you know, she was already arrested. It's just crazy. I feel so bad for all of them. Sally is saying that she feels so bad for Allie at this point, and I do. And I've been saying for so long that she's innocent. She was probably a really bad friend and really mean and bullied a lot of people, but I don't think she's a murderer. And, you know, the stuff that she's had to go through has just been terrible. And for, you know, finally, it's like, hello, like the girls are finally seeing that she is like pretty much a victim here. She's being stalked by A. Who do you think wrote, well, first of all, having Mona written on that table, I guess that was like laundry detergent powder, which I don't really understand why it was spread like all over that table. That was a little weird, but I guess maybe they had to have something for Allie to write Mona's name. But then someone came back in and said, told everything. So now it reads Mona told everything. What does that mean? And who do you think did that? Well, obviously it's A or an A team member, but what does that mean, guys? So it was a schedule in Mike's room, according to Nad, that was on that dartboard. Allie, what's up, Allie? Thanks for joining us. Thinks that Allie from PLL knows who A is. I would love if she knows that she would say something, because we're dying over here. Like, we really want to know. So, girl, you got to tell us. If you know who A is, please don't keep it a secret anymore. I mean, your friends are having a lot of issues, and A could kill some more people. Do you all think that Cyrus is dead? Because I do. Because that person that was all wrapped up was probably going to kill him in the hospital room. Connie says she thought it looked like a timetable too. It was, on the dartboard with a dart. So that obviously is important. So I'm wondering what exactly was on that schedule or timetable. What is up to Priscilla? Thank you for joining us tonight. Gosh, there's just so much going on. Yeah, Danielle is asking about the mummy and the burn unit. Did it have Andrew's shoes on? Really? Because I totally did not catch that. So do you think that Andrew is a total suspect here, or do you think it's another ploy from the PLL writers to throw us off of the real A or the real A team? And I've been reading a lot about A lately, trying to figure out who Big A is, and a lot of the theories are saying they don't believe there's an A team. So I guess we could say that Mona was not really on an A team if that's true, because she used to be A, or sort of A. Someone's asking me, I think this is Priscilla, have you seen the new theory that Daisy sent out yesterday, I think, about the girls being locked in the dollhouse? Yeah, I've seen several people have sent me the dollhouse series, which could possibly be spoilers, that might happen like in the season finale. So we know how much of an emphasis the show is put on dolls, and the fact that A has like dolls that look like the girls and all of that. So yeah, I could see that happening. And it's funny because someone sent me a spoiler of Hannah in jail, and we know that's going to happen. I try, honestly, not to look at spoilers on my own, but a lot of you send them to me and you want me to read them and give me your thoughts on my YouTube channel. So I will, because the reason I usually don't read them is because a lot of times, I'm telling you guys, for the past couple of years, they have come true. And I do like to be surprised, even though I try to figure it out on my own. I don't want to know like what someone has leaked out usually, but I'll read them if you really want me to, and let me know or let you know what I'm thinking. Yeah, Nat is talking about the Andrew and Aria, or the Andrea kiss, which made me feel sick, because even if he doesn't end up being like a troubled person or an A team member, I don't like him. I think if you've heard me talk or watch my videos, you know that I don't like him, and I don't like Johnny, who thankfully wasn't on last night's episode, and I don't like Talia. But I did not want them to kiss. I don't want that to happen. He may be trouble for Aria, like seriously. Shalisa, what's up, Shalisa? Saying that Toby is on the A team. Yeah, I've gone back and forth with this. What may happen, guys, is like all of the people who they've made us think are A, which right now, Mona, Toby, Ezra, and Allie, I guess, they may be all working together somehow. I don't know. So A is possibly, according to Sassy, paying other prisoners to send those messages to Allie. Yeah, I could totally see that happening, because she keeps getting those rude messages. The latest one was about her going to be in the barrel, like if she doesn't stop. Shalisa says that Andrew is possibly a suspect because the girls did not suspect him. I don't think Andrew is Big A. Agree with you there. I don't either. But maybe an A team member. I mean, he's looking really suspicious. The most suspicious thing that I've seen from him is when he made that statement about taking Aria to that movie, where the plot and the character sounded exactly like A. So that was, she didn't catch on. But that, honestly, was a big clue, I believe. David's asking, do you believe that Toby is still in the A team? I don't know. I have mixed thoughts about that. Sometimes I do, and sometimes I don't. But I just thought about this, like, if he was on the A team, what better way to know what's going on in the police force than to join it? So obviously the A team would love to have someone from their team as part of the police team, because they can monitor what's going on and keep tabs and make sure that their people don't get caught. That makes sense, right? Sassy asking, what are your thoughts on Emily and Talia in last night's episode? I still don't trust Talia, even though she, you know, kind of threatened the pageant woman, which looked like she really cared about Emily and was going to maybe help Emily get that money to give to Hannah. I really don't even believe her. She said she was separating from her husband and moving out and quitting her job. But the next thing, she's like, oh yeah, I'll stay with you for a while until I get on my feet or whatever. If she was serious about leaving, she would have left. So it's like she can't get away. Maybe it's just because she really, really likes Emily and she can't quit her. But I don't, I just don't trust her. What do you guys think about that? Shalisa loves the theory of everyone working together to be a Toby, Allie, Ezra, and Mona spells out team. Exactly. And so far, we've seen that all of those people are part of the team. Now, I've also seen that spelled as a team, so that Arya is part of that. Arya, Toby, Allie, Ezra, and Mona. Have you guys seen that? So we know all the ones in team, Toby, Allie, Ezra, and Mona, have all at one point been a big A suspect, but maybe Arya will be like our last piece of that puzzle. That would be really, really interesting to me. Danielle is saying she could get a screenshot of the shoes, but I thought they were big gray shoes like Andrew had in a picture for in 522, which that's like an awesome catch if that's the case, because if we can place, I guess even though the mummy guy could have Andrew's shoes and it not be Andrew, but since it was like such, like they didn't try to point it out, it's making me think that was Andrew. But Andrew could be trying to hurt Cyrus, because remember the last time they had an encounter, it looked like he was going to hurt the girls and he intercepted that. So maybe he has like the wrong idea, even though I don't know if we can trust Cyrus. Do any of you trust him? Obviously someone burned him and that wasn't cool. So he's probably not on the A team, but very interesting. Who's in jail sending all those notes to Allie? Someone is asking. I don't know. It seems like another thing about Ezra, it seems like whoever A is, they just have their way with everyone. And that's why I've always thought that it cannot be like a kid. It can't be a high school kid, because they know how to intercept everything, to get into bars, to buy alcohol, to be everywhere all the time. Ezra was a prophet in the Bible. So if they're so big on symbolism in this show, he was kind of an all-knowing, all-seeing person, which brings me back to that again. Could it be that Ezra is A because he's like always everywhere, like A is always everywhere, always seeing everything? Maybe he was named Ezra for a reason. I don't know. We could sit here and talk about like so many characters, and we would all be convinced that it was them. That's what drives me kind of crazy about this show, but also why I love this show, because I will sit around and read like all these theories and I'll be like, it's Jason. I know it's Jason. I'm sure it's Jason. And then I'll read the Ren theories and I'm like, I'm positive it's Ren. And then I'll read Arya and Hannah, and like, I thought almost everyone except for Pastor Ted was A at one point. What about you guys? Yes, Nad Ashley said yes to Ted, which I was very shocked about. Not really that she said yes to Ted, but that Ted knows the truth about Jason and he was still cool with it. But I guess he knows the truth, right? Because we never saw that. She said she told him. Have you ever thought that maybe she didn't tell him the truth? And, she said she told us the truth. Maybe she has a problem with the truth herself. I'm starting to wonder that, because is anyone else surprised that he still wanted to marry her after learning about the whole Jason thing? I'm really surprised. Oh, hey, Ashley, what is up? Thanks for joining us. She's thinking that Cece, Ezra, or Ren is A. Cece is another really good candidate. I've always tried to think that I've always wanted to think that whoever is big A is a huge character who we see a lot. Now, Cece and Ren, we do not see a lot, but Ezra that we do. So I'm hoping that if it's like maybe Toby or Ezra or someone like that is in the show a lot, because it doesn't have to be, but I just feel like that makes more sense. David is asking, what do you think about that message? Spencer's mom says, yeah, we were saying Spencer's mom doesn't want her to come back to Rosewood, to stay in London. I don't know. She was looking through Allie's file when she found something that really upset her, and she was like, Spencer, she called her and left her a message, you can't come back. I don't know. I really don't know what that was, but probably something that would possibly put Spencer back in jail. Vladimir trusts Talia. Yeah, and a lot of people have told me they like Johnny. I've gotten a lot of pro Johnny comments. A couple of Andrew and Arya shippers, and a couple of you like Talia, which is totally fine, because I might be wrong about them. I don't think Talia is the best for Emily, because it seems like every girlfriend she's had has some kind of massive drama, and I just hope for her that she would meet a girl who didn't have a lot of baggage and could be cool and normal for her, because Emily has so much baggage of her own, with all the Allie stuff, that I want her to meet like a nice, normal girl who doesn't have so much baggage. Megan saying that Keegan Allen, who plays Toby, says we'll feel sorry for A, and that's hard to imagine. Well, I really don't think it's hard to imagine because I don't think we know the entire backstory of A. And like I said, I think there's a lot of missing pieces. And once we know how much they've been hurt or they've had a family member hurt, I think they've gone through some terrible things, because why would you torment people for this long and go to this extent if you didn't have some massive like trauma in your life? And I think that's what we're going to find out. And I really cannot wait. As much as I don't want the show to be over forever, I can't wait to find out what made this person freak out and do all these things. I think it's all going to make sense to us. Jardy saying that the man who Spencer was staying with was related to Ren, and he is the one who put the blood in Spencer's bag. One of the writers from the show tweeted out asking last night, what did we think about the flatmate, whose name was Colin, the flatmate of Melissa and Ren? So I think, Jardy, that person is important, because why else would the writers point that out and ask what we thought about him? Because he just seems like a whatever character, but I think he's important. Exactly, because Spencer was worried. She was like, how did A put this in my bag before the airport, or like in the airport and all that? And she went through security and all that stuff. That probably didn't happen. Very good point. It probably happened in the flat. Nad's asking if Caleb could be A. I've definitely thought that before too. Like I said, I've thought so many people convincingly could be A. So I've definitely thought that. He's someone who's in the show a lot, so it would make sense and not make me upset. But I like Caleb, so that would make me a little upset. I always thought he was great and great for Hannah. So Jardy, I think Jardy gets like the biggest gold star tonight, because that's, I think, is on point. I definitely do, especially with them tweeting out, what did we think about Colin? I don't know how much more we're going to see of Colin, but Colin, you know what would be funny is if Melissa and Ren come back, if like Spencer still stays there and they have no clue who Colin is, and they're like, we don't have a roommate. That could be so crazy. They probably don't have a roommate. Sassy's saying that I think Leslie and Bethany are the same person. I'm starting to really believe this now. Leslie said she met Mona a few summers ago, which could be when she went to Radley. Totally. That totally makes sense. Her mother is Marion, and she saw Mrs. D push Marion off the roof. That is awesome, Sassy. I really, really like that. We got to know that Toby's mom is going to have a huge role in this. Speaking of feeling sorry for someone, just got to throw this out here. The way that Toby's mom was treated, the way Toby has been treated by Jenna, I mean, he's a prime candidate for someone for us to feel sorry for. He's been through way more stuff than we probably would ever know. Think about that for a minute. I could see that. Leslie has also been compared to Ashley and how similar they look, according to Connie. Yes, totally. Someone is saying that they say that A was putting the money in the Bibles because she was paying people to hurt Allie. Yeah, I could see that too, because obviously I don't think A is actually in prison. I think A has like henchmen who really aren't even A team members. They're legit the other prisoners who are doing things like writing in the detergent and giving the little barrel notes with the little doll because someone's paying them, and people want money in prison to buy like snacks and stuff or cigarettes maybe. I don't know. So yeah. I definitely can see that. So we have just a couple of minutes. Oh my gosh, guys, this has gone by so fast. I just want to remind you, if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do. I am working on my video tonight for last night's episode, and every week I do a comprehensive overview with my theories of every episode. I reply to every comment, and I also feature a subscriber of the week, whoever I think has the best comment, so you could be featured on my channel. But I would love for you to subscribe, because I feel like everyone is in my PLL family, and I just love bouncing ideas and theories off of you guys, just like we're doing here. David saying Toby. I don't know, guys. When it's making me think, like, after we've had this discussion, that Toby could be A, because he's had so much crap happen to him, and we may not even know what else has happened to him. And this whole thing with his mom, someone probably killed her. Think about it. Let's think about it and, like kind of wonder if that could be it. I don't know. I mean, it's crazy how often I change like who I think is A. Well, Geneva, hey, what's up? Asking if we already discussed whose account Mike was getting money from. No, we really haven't, because we're not really sure. And I don't know what he withdrew that money for. And it was like a specific amount. So I'm trying to figure that out too. All right, so this is pretty much all the time we have left, because it is 6:30, and I hate that, because honestly, this has flown by, and your questions, comments, and theories have been so awesome tonight. I really appreciate all of it, but I've got to tell you bye for now. I will be back on Instacator with another live show 6 p.m. Eastern every Wednesday. So that means next week I can see all of you guys live again. If you want to leave me comments on this video once it's up on YouTube, I will go back and reply to whatever you have to say. So thanks again for joining me. Have a great night or day, depending on where you are, and I will see you next time.